hello friends, my name is Sean and welcome to this special episode of the Berean Way. Now this episode, it's going to be a little different from our usual Sunday teachings because today we're not diving into a full exegetical study or a doctrinal series. Today we're making an announcement. Something new is coming to this channel, and I want to take a few minutes to just sort of tell you what that is and why we're doing it and what you can expect, because I genuinely believe this is going to add something of value to your week and to your walk with Yahweh. So stay with me, because there's something here I believe for every person who watches this channel, whether you've been with us from the beginning or you're joining us for the very first time today. Now, starting Wednesday, July the 1st, the Berean Way is launching a brand new midweek teaching series. And these will premiere every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Short, focused, intentional teachings designed to run roughly about 15 minutes each. And we're calling this series Foundations. Now, I want to explain why we chose that name, because it's not accidental. Everything we do on this channel, every deep dive into a difficult passage or every doctrinal examination, every challenge to inherited tradition, all of it depends on a set of foundational truths that have to be firmly in place before any of it makes sense. And what I have observed, both in my own journey and in conversations with many of you, is that those foundational truths are often the ones that have been the most obscured, the most misrepresented, or simply never even clearly laid out. And people have been handed a version of the faith that skips the foundation and goes straight to the upper floors, if you will, and then they wonder why everything feels so unstable. And that is precisely what Foundations is designed to address. Now, our theme verse on this channel, it's always been Acts 17:11. Now, these were more noble than those in Thessalonica, who received the word with great eagerness and searched the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. Now, the Bereans, they did not passively receive what they were taught. They took it back to the word of Yahweh and examined it. They tested it. They verified it. And that posture, that combination of eagerness and honesty, if you will, is what this channel exists to cultivate. Not suspicion, not cynicism, just a genuine, humble, courageous commitment to letting the word of Yahweh be the final word on everything. And so Foundations is built on that same commitment. Every teaching in this series, it's going to go back to the text, establish what Yahweh has actually said, and lay down a clear, scripture-grounded marker that you can build the rest of your understanding on. So over 13 weeks, running from July the 1st through the end of September, we are going to work through 13 foundational topics. And I want to give you a quick overview, because I think when you hear the list, you'll understand why we sequenced it the way we did. And so we begin with the most foundational truth of all, the oneness of Yahweh. There is one Elohim. His name is Yahweh, and getting that right, it shapes everything else. From there, we move to the authority of Scripture, why the Word of Yahweh is the supreme and final standard for everything that we believe and practice. Then we tackle the Torah, what it actually is, what Yeshua actually said about it, and why the common idea that it has been abolished simply does not hold up to honest examination of the text. And from there, we look at the covenants of Yahweh and how the biblical covenants fit together as a unified progressive story rather than a series of contradictory divine experiments. Then we ask the question that sits at the center of everything: who is Yeshua? Not who tradition says he is, but who the scriptures actually present him to be, from the apostolic proclamation of Acts all the way through the letters of Paul. We then move into grace and obedience, confronting the false choice that much of modern Christianity has presented between the two, and showing from the Word that these are not enemies, but partners. Then comes the Sabbath, its roots in creation, its status as a covenant sign, and its consistent practice in the apostolic community. And closely connected to that, the appointed times of Yahweh, his calendar, his Moedim, and their profound prophetic significance. We will also spend some time on Israel and the nations, a topic that I believe is absolutely essential for understanding how Gentile believers relate to the covenant community. Then we examine what Scripture actually says about death and resurrection, a topic where popular Christianity has drifted much further, we believe, from the Hebrew text than most people realize. And from there, we look at the Kingdom of Yahweh. What is it, when it comes, and where it is established. Then we spend a week on prayer, not as a technique, but as a covenant posture, if you will, before the Father. And we close the series where every good foundation leads with a practical look at what a life of covenant faithfulness actually looks like day by day and step by step. 13 topics, 13 weeks, one unified foundation. Now let me tell you what these teachings will look like and feel like, because the format is intentional. Each teaching will be approximately 15 minutes. That's it. No hour-long deep dives on Wednesdays. Those are what Sundays is for. The midweek format is designed to be something you can engage with on your lunch break, on a walk, in your car, or at your kitchen table before the rest of your day gets going. Short enough to fit into a busy week, but substantive enough to stay with you through the rest of it. And so each teaching will have clear main points, supporting Scripture, and enough commentary to make the content genuinely useful rather than just a list of verses. And at the end of every single teaching, we're going to give you a comprehensive list of Scripture related to that week's topic, so that if the teaching actually sparks something in you, you have a ready-made personal guide, if you will, to go deeper on your own. So the midweek teaching, it plants the seed. The Scripture list, it's the soil that you can keep digging in all week long. And this is designed to be a series for people who are serious about the Word, but also who live in a real world with real schedules and real demands on their time. We're trying to meet you where you are. And I want to be honest with you for a moment about why this series exists, and it goes beyond just wanting to add more content to the channel. There are people who have been attending church, reading their Bibles, and following Yeshua for years, and yet they are standing on a foundation that has significant cracks in it. Not because they're not sincere, not because they don't love Yahweh, but because the foundational truths that we're going to work through in this series were either never clearly taught to them or were actively taught to them in a distorted form. And when the foundation has cracks, everything built on it becomes vulnerable. And I've been in that place. Many of you have been in that place. And there is a moment, sometimes gradual, sometimes sudden, when the Word of Yahweh begins to correct the foundation underneath you. And it's unsettling, admittedly. And it's also one of the most liberating experiences a believer can have. Because when you find the actual ancient paths, when the foundation stops shifting and becomes solid, everything else starts to make sense in a way it never quite did before. And that is what I'm hoping that this series does for everyone who watches it. Not to shake you, but to build you up on something that will hold. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Mark your calendars for July the 1st at 2 p.m. The first teaching in the Foundation series premieres right here on the Berean Way. And then every Wednesday through the end of September, we will be right here with the next one. Subscribe if you have not already. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single one. And if you have a friend, a family member, or someone in your community who you think might benefit from working through these foundations, share the video with them now. Share this video with them. Bring them along for the journey. These are not topics, that get easier the longer you put them off. They are foundations that become more essential the higher you want to build. And as always, be a Berean, search the Scriptures, hold fast to what is good, and we will see you Wednesday, July the 1st. And so friends, thank you for watching this short promo video. If this announcement encouraged you or sparked something in you, please share it. That simple act, it helps this content reach people who need it. subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on July the 1st for the first teaching in the Foundation series. And if you ever want to reach out and connect with us, you can do that at the Berean Way 1711 at gmail.com. We love hearing from you. But until then, be a Berean, walk in the Berean way, and may Yahweh Shalom find you in your pursuit of genuine biblical truth.